First game for a lot of our guys, a lot of firsts, and a lot of things for us to work on. Really proud of our effort. But I think as we know, we came in Friday, and I think a lot of our guys felt almost like it was a loss. It wasn't a loss; it was a win. But a lot of things to correct. The great thing, and I was talking about this a minute ago, that to get to play on a Thursday night allowed us to come in Friday and work on UAB. Normally you'd come in on a Sunday, you'd have to quickly work through you and then start working on the opponent. Friday allowed us to really come in and spend the whole day on us, which I think obviously was important to us. So spent a lot of time on them, and then of course Sunday moved forward to Akron, and looking forward to this week getting better. All right, questions?
So what's the challenge going on the road for the first time with this many new guys stepping up and contributing roles?
We've been talking about it a long time. I mean, it's an 11 o'clock kick for us. 12 for them. So, we have a routine that we go through, as far as visiting the stadium and getting there. We'll get there pretty early Friday. So I think that's very important. And we've been talking about this a long time. We're a morning practice team in the summer. We were probably something we got to acclimate to really is the evenings, because I like going in the morning. So, we did a scrimmage at 11. So trying to do everything we can to get ourselves ready for that. If it was up to me, I would have already went and stayed in a hotel somewhere to put them through it. That's just something not feasible for us. But I think that's something we've talked about. Now actually going through it's going to be a different story. Yeah, I think for us, there's and I kept saying, this group's worked hard. They care, all those things. But I think the urgency of games, and once again, I bragged on Alabama State a lot. I think there's also that whole, I know from our offense standpoint, when somebody says, hey, we're going to load the box, play cover zero, we've got to be able to take advantage of that and give them credit for that. But those things are taking advantage of our opportunities. Turnovers is always something we just spend tons of time. So, one is too many. We have one on a kickoff return, and so wherever they are, those are the things we've got to work on, filling gaps on defense. And so, I think there's specific individual things, and I think there's this overview of what a game looks like, just the urgency. One mistake gets magnified. How are we on the sidelines? What should that look like? We had a lot of guys on the sidelines that were kind of being spectators, a lot of those young guys. And so, we need you to get involved, and especially on the road. We always talk about we've got to bring our own energy. And so we're going to really be dependent on those guys on the sideline to do that. So it's a bunch of things.
I know that there's a game plan. But is it still, since it's so early in the season, it's still more about us and trying to be better in that passage?
Yeah, it's both. I think there's, and that's kind of what I was referring to on that Friday was what do we do to get us better? What have we got to do? What moves do we need to make? And, you're trying to put those 11 best guys, and we play more than 11, but it's who are the 11 best people that we can put out there if we have to move some folks around. Who played the best in the game? Who shows up on game night? So those are the things we're looking at. And then we know for Akron, it's, and I think college football is this case. I think it's real easy to say this score equals this week, and it's really irrelevant. I mean, obviously, there's got to be some bearing on what you did last week. I mean, that's why you have a winner and a loser. But, they're going to be at home. Their first game, they don't want to be 0-2. Some people play totally different at home. I mean, so I think all those things, back to your point of we've got to get ourselves better and get ready to go on the road. So that's first thing first.
Past 2 years, what kind of difference does this season have? Obviously, you're in Ball State, more than half the team was playing their first
Mm-hmm.
last year, really did win. Maybe a little bit harder, to kind of see what was there. But coming off a win like that this past week, you had to work for it,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to see some of those
Yep.
things that you need to work on. You think that makes a difference, and maybe actually get a better line than you might have the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, I think to your point, which was good points made, I think for us, we had an older group that was pretty confident. They watched South Carolina, beat Coastal pretty bad. Once again, at home, SEC opponent, we win big, probably got a little overconfident. All that led to what happened at Coastal, which turned out to be, really something that we're, I guess, what did we win, 9 straight or something like that afterwards. I'd rather not go through that. But the loss, win, or win-loss, however you want to look at the other night, in our guys' eyes, probably was one of the best things could have happened to us to shock us into the real world of this is what this looks like. This is what we've been telling you. This is what a bullseye looks like. This is what, all those things that we need. I didn't see anything yesterday that looked like people worrying about their score. It was more, what do we got to do to get better? And that's what it should be. It should just be, what do we need to do to get better? So hopefully those things will all help us as we go to this week.
You talked about it was a win, but you players sort of felt like it was a loss on Friday. Is that, the way do you like to see that? I mean, is that the type of attitude you like to see when you guys come back after a game like that?
Well, it was. I'm going to use Garrett sitting in the back of the room, and so yesterday I congratulate him somewhere during the end of practice. Hey, congratulations on being Defensive Player of the Week. And he said, Coach, I didn't play well. Well, that's really the mindset you'd like everybody to have, because we can all play better. I can coach better. You can play better. But I think that's how these guys feel. They've got high expectations. We want high expectations. I mean, I could sit here in the first of the year, and every time you talk to me, tell you how many guys we lost last year. 2 years from now, we're going to be good when these guys all have experience, and woe is me, and that's just not who I am. And that's not who we are. So we know we got that, and we've talked about the whole offseason. The only way to do it is to go out there and play. But I do like the fact that they've got high expectations for themselves. Once again, it is a win, but for them to feel like we've got a lot of things to do, they know it, they're saying it. That's how you got to live, in this world. So, it's just that's where it should be.
How different you guys defensively without
Yeah, he's that good. And I don't want him to hear that, but he makes a huge difference for us, and especially where we've got him. We'll be a lot better with him. There's no doubt. It's a big deal not having him.
Bill, when you went back and looked at the film of Thursday's game, did you see a number of moments where you were very close to stretching out the lead? You obviously catch a long pass, fumble in the red zone, get stopped on fourth down at the goal line, or close
Yes.
to the goal line.
Yes.
Did it look, in a sense, better on film than it maybe did in the stats or in the files?
Oh yeah, I think we're sitting there in the second half. There's so many moments just due to depth, and no offense to them, but when you got guys laying all over the field, that's your chance to take over the game. That's probably why I was so disappointed. We had those two drives to start the second half. We didn't do anything with them. The Hayden play, the fourth down, the call that they missed on Myron, which they came back and said they missed the overturn. All those probably would have changed the game. So there was all those moments, but I just think us being hard on ourselves, which is where I want to live. I think we got so much to do, but I do think, there was so many moments that, and that's the thing. What do you do in those moments? Do you, in our vernacular, step on their throat or not? And you leave a team in it. That's the recipe for an upset. Which who says what's an upset? But that's a recipe for getting beat. So hopefully we've learned you've got to put a team away when you have that opportunity, and we had plenty of opportunities.
Coach, I got to ask, with the storm happening, does it affect any of your guys where it might show some concern?
I think anytime you got a guy in that vicinity, he worries. We had a lot of guys. Remember last year from Texas that I guess that was last year that we were concerned about. It all kind of comes together now, but we got a few guys, and I think anytime you got that, you're praying for all the folks there, and especially anybody we've got in that neighborhood.
Will Bowler, after seeing film of it, it seemed like it reminded me a lot of Robert Thomas running around a lot of times the other night. Kind of after seeing the film, what were your impressions of the way he played?
Ted, you might have to go turn that off. Okay. I thought Will played very solid. This is a guy we've been waiting on for a while, to get his opportunity. He just had some really good guys in front of him. Played really well. Will's a guy, that just, he's a great athlete. We played him at corner. We played him at safety. One of the big things we want to do is really work on his tackling. That's gotten a lot better. And obviously the big play to end the game for us was huge. But he had a really good day.
How about Cody Griffin? Didn't really talk a whole lot about him for a little bit, but it seemed like he showed up the other night.
Yeah, Kobe was a safety. That was one of those perfect moves. Going back to Mole, he would have played some, and then that forced him into playing, the whole game, which was just what he needed. So really, once again, if you can survive those moments, because Mo's one of those guys we feel like we know what he's going to do. So to get those other linebackers a lot of reps really made him better. And it's just the move from DB to linebackers is different inside. So he's learning, but I think that game was huge for him.
Offensive line, that's something that obviously you really could tell more on film. After watching film, what were your thoughts of their first game together?
I kept using the word solid. I think they were, nothing flashy great, but good. I thought our protection was good. Somebody who blitzes every down. Of course, we left guys in to protect, so we should have had good protection. But I think once again, that's a group that wants to get better. We made some moves this week from some backup guys, moved some guys around. That I think is really going to help us. And some of those things that only happen with time. You just more experience, more reps. We've historically gotten better each week, and I'm really wanting to see that group get better, continue to get better. Yeah. Like a letter grade?
Not really so much a letter grade, but what did you see from overall from these guys?
Yeah, I thought we had a good game. I mean, I C plus, B minus. If you ask me for a letter grade, I just we've got such high standards. I was really disappointed in that long play, which I would always be. Big plays, and then we had a busted coverage down there after the fumble. Other than that, they were pretty good. I mean, I think you get past 2 plays, it was a pretty solid night. So pretty good, but just got to raise up to the standard that we're trying to play at.
With the new coaches back and you have one game, is it still sort of a mystery a little bit with having new coaches?
Oh yeah, I think they're feeling themselves out. They're totally changing what they were doing there. They're a pro offense. So if you can think of a formation or a motion, they're doing it. Every shift, motion, trade, really talented quarterback, and you got an offensive coach who knows what he's doing. So we're from looking at them in the past. It's just a very multiple, and they're going. Once again, that's what I said. They're at home. There's going to be changes they made. They played a bunch of freshmen, so they're feeling their way as well.
So you go back and look at where Chattanooga or whatever, and you go, is that how you see
That's
it?
all you have. I mean, that's all you can look at. Yeah, that's what you do.
Coach, this is a first meeting between the two schools, and there can be a ton of those first meetings pretty ready to beat against anybody. Are you always trying to search for matchups that intrigue and get you make your fans focus on where they might want to travel to locate?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us at the time we scheduled this game, this was literally, hey, we got to get teams. We were trying to get games, and my philosophy, and Mark and I end up sharing that philosophy was, okay, you want us to play a money game, then the FCS, that was kind of the matchup, and then let's go in-state to have a crowd. All that's worked out, and then the other two were somebody in our, kind of in our stratosphere, and that was the MAC, maybe a Sun Belt team, maybe the AAC. That was how we ended up with Tulane. So kind of that, and they were in the need, so it all worked together.
Any other questions, Coach?
Bill, you mentioned the players kind of felt like it was a loss.
Yeah.
Friday. Some of the fan base kind of felt the same way.
Sure.
You appreciated that. Did they have high expectations as well?
Yeah, I mean, I told them I want, that's what I want them to feel. I think there got to be some common sense in there, just on knowing where our guys are. But at the same time, I want them to win. Want us to win. I want them to have expectations. You can't be a fan. I can't expect them to be fans and not be fans. So. I laugh at some of the commentators on the air that I think, and you didn't really ask me this, but it's when you've never coached, you don't really know. If you've never coached, you don't really know. Playing doesn't coach. It helps, but at the same time, how can we go ask them to be fans and not want them to be fans? So that doesn't really bother me. I think you've got, you would ask them to go, okay, let's look at who they are and what they've got, but that doesn't bother me. I mean, I want them to be fans. I want them to want us to win and expect to win, and But I guess that common sense is, know who the team is and what they're doing and where they're coming from. And we knew this was going to be the year, but we're not waiting. We're not waiting to for next year. We want to do it now. So we'll just see what we do with it. But no, I'm glad we've got fans. I'm glad we're getting people that care, and that's what I want out of them.
Look pretty good on film.
No, sir. I don't know how I won that award. I got a lot of stuff to work on. I didn't make any sacks. I didn't make any pass deflections. A lot of stats I left on the field. I could do better.
You think that's what makes you the player that you are? You're always looking to the next level.
Yes, sir. Everyone on our defense is trying to go to the next level. So we know we're not going to get to the next level only having a couple stats a game.
How do you go through that goal line stand y'all had at the end of the game? Obviously, as seeing momentum kind of moving back towards y'all's end of the schedule, man. Just kind of getting that there. I think you had back-to-back tackles on that year. Just what were y'all able to tell yourselves during those 4 downs to kind of be able to stop them from being able to take the lead there?
Yes, sir. That was our first time being in a short yard situation all together. So we just want to see who the dogs were, who's going to come out to play. That's a big play for us. We don't want to let anyone in the touchdown. So it's just we got to see who was who.
You guys have a lot of new guys playing up front, defensively. And kind of what was your impression of the way you guys sort of played as a group, the inside guys especially?
Yes, sir. I think we did good. Like I said, we got a lot to work on. Moultrie, JJ, Tony got hurt pretty early. He started. He'll be back this week. So I think we did good. First game.
When Tony went down, how much does that change things a little bit? I mean, he seems to be kind of the biggest guy in there.
Yes, sir. It does change things because we all got different body types and different roles. So it did change a couple things, but we got a lot of guys that could do the same thing.
For you moving around a little bit more this year than you did last year, I mean, have you sort of enjoyed the different things you're doing this year compared to last year a little bit?
Yes, sir. We kept it pretty simple week 1, but I definitely expect to do a couple different things this week and change it up. I do like it, having different matchups throughout the game, not just staying on the same guy.
The penalty you got, you play with a lot of emotion.
Yes, sir.
How often have coaches tried to take that emotion away from you, and is it just you just get caught up sometimes?
Oh yes, I let my emotions get the best of me. Like I said, it was the first game. We were talking with each other throughout the whole camp. We just wanted to play another team. I thought it was probably my own team. I don't know. I just wasn't ready for I wasn't expecting all that. When I turned around, I thought the play was still going. It just happened quick.
Is it impossible for you not to play with emotion though? I mean,
No, sir.
Just kind of.
Yes, sir. I like to play mad.
I gotta go on one little tangent. Arnold ended up. Do they each one mean something? Did you do it at one time, or how did it work, or?
A lot of them mean something. Most of them, my grandpa, he drew. I kind of copied them. It's American traditional art. It's a certain style of art I like, the old Sailor Jerry and stuff like that, old school stuff. So I do got a little. My bad. I do got a little blazer tattoo.
When did you get that?
Last year.
Because some of it is, you mentioned your grandfather, is that, it means something even more for you wherever you go, wherever you
Yes,
go?
sir. I got a lot of tattoos that I got throughout my family and stuff that I could look down in the middle of a play and stuff, remind me. I got my sister's name on my hand and stuff like that. No, I just yeah, he was like the one who started tattoos. I grew up by the ocean. I love that style of art.
noticed the ring was and I've seen a lot of those on the
Yes, sir.
It's definitely a very nice
When'd you get your first tattoo?
I was a freshman in high school. I seen the whole seniors on the defensive line they had a tattoo on their ribs, so I wanted to fit in. You know, I had to go to an army base and shape my head like a jarhead and act like I was older than I was.
For me personally, I enjoyed it. I got a chance to play in a couple games last year, but just to start and actually play a whole game, it was amazing. I wouldn't say it was just too fast because of the way we practice, and overall we rushed for 170 something, and I mean it was pretty balanced. But of course, like Coach said, we set our standards very, very high, and we were glad that we were able to keep the quarterback clean, and so we just gonna keep working on that. So it was amazing.
Kind of taking off that, you look at you look back at this game, rather than, when it happened Thursday night, there was a few penalties like that, but like I said, y'all kept the
Yes, sir.
quarterback clean, you rushed for over 177 yards. Do you feel like, the penalties and what mistakes you had in this early game, is that an advantage to y'all to be able to learn, from those mistakes now later on down the year?
Of course, yes, sir. Like Coach said, the past 2 years, we all know what happened, and so for it to happen and for us to be able to escape it and still come out with a win, I think you have to enjoy the win, but you still have to look at it and be like, okay, these are the small things that can get us in trouble. And so you look at those and you say, okay, we got to work on these, and we can take that next step or go to that next level. So.
Colby, what did it tell you about your offense that after the goal line stand, you guys kept the ball for more than 6 minutes?
Yes, sir.
You get off the goal line, flip the field position.
Yes, sir.
What did that tell you about your offense when you had to have a drive?
It showed us what we already known since January, that we are capable of being an elite offense and that we play for each other. So we know, okay, the defense did their job, they got our back. So now it's our turn. Let's hold this ball. Let's get a couple first downs. Let's keep it out of Alabama State's hands, if that makes sense. So we don't want to give it back to them and let them decide what they're going to do with it. Let's use up as much clock as we can and get a couple first down and keep this victory.
You've been on the road a few times.
Yes, sir.
A little bit, but what do you need to do differently this week on the road? I mean, what's the differences in playing on the road and as opposed to playing at home?
The biggest thing I would say is the difference is you're by yourself. I mean, you're going to have fans that travel, but you got to know that when you look over there, you got to look to the sideline for that energy. So the biggest thing is energy. We had like 40,000 fans there the other night. It may be 2,000, 3,000, maybe 5,000, but we have to know that we are all one family, and we have the guys that we take or that travel with us. That is our heart. That's who we're gonna look to each time for that third down play or that big touchdown drive or the emotions, because they were with us in the summer. They know what all work we put in to be here. So I mean, it's different because you don't have the fan base, but at the same time, you got your guys, you got your teammates. That's really all you need. But we do enjoy the fans though. We love fans. So yes, sir.